Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about the direct correlation between amphetamines and drug addiction, psychopathy, narcissism, and other dark triad traits later in life. So I'm going to start by reading this short 1.5 page paper that I wrote, and I want to get your guys' opinion. If anybody sees this, hopefully they understand that this is the truth. Nothing but the truth. Alright. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is one of the most common mental disorders that plague the minds of children. Instead of catering to the needs of these affected children, psychiatrists choose to experiment on these children using extremely potent and addictive amphetamines such as Vyvanse, Ritalin, and Adderall. Unfortunately, parents are extremely uneducated about these issues and they seem to be tyrannical in the way that they run their households, so that if their children doesn't exhibit the behavior desired, they will do whatever it takes to force them into compliance. Children with ADHD actually have an advantage, and that advantage is that their brain works faster than the average human beings. The problem is not necessarily a battle with trying to focus, especially when amphetamines, which actually speed up the brain even more, are the solution. The proper solution is giving the child a chance to show what he or she is interested in and then giving them that outlet. While the child is engaging in whatever activity/endeavor that they are actually interested in, they should be monitored and nurtured and validated. If this doesn't work over a prolonged period of time, the second half of the equation is to find a healthy way for the child to slow down his thought process and analyze each one of his thoughts slowly. The third and final piece of the equation is to teach this child that there is an omnipotent power that is bigger than themselves, Jesus Christ. Alright guys, so I want to tell you that when I was young, I wasn't the best child, right? I was a little rebellious, but I think all children are a little bit rebellious, just a little bit, you know? And I think it's incompetent to think that you should try to control and dictate the way that children behave using psychotherapeutic drugs and psychiatry and these things which were developed in Nazi Germany. Like, you know, psychology, behavioral sciences, and all these things were developed by the Nazis in World War II, and they were used for extremely nefarious reasons, like such as brainwashing and propaganda and stuff like that. But so yeah, when I was young, I was a little rebellious. I couldn't focus in school because I had ADHD, a very severe ADHD, and it was just everything was extremely uninteresting to me, and my brain was just going 100 miles per minute thinking about a bunch of more creative stuff. Like, why is there not creativity in school? There's nothing. Like, think about this. School is indoctrination, for one. The history is all fake. All the history that they fake is given to us by the winners of wars, the winners of people who destroyed nations. You know, so all the history that they give us is fake in order to fit their agenda. All the science, who knows how much of that is real? They brainwash you with space and all this stuff so that you'll believe the fake alien invasion when that comes. The only subject in school that I really believe matters whatsoever is math. And that's because math is inherently present even in reality. And reality could even be explained using mathematics. So that's the only reason I believe math matters at all. But the idea that we can just put our children on psychotropic drugs that are going to zombify them and get them to do, you're literally tyrannizing children because they're not giving you a behavior that you want. Doesn't that sound like totalitarianism? Are you running your house? Are you running your children's lives like a totalitarian dictator? Think about this. You don't get the desired behavior from your child. So instead of a little bit of discipline and a little bit of love and coaxing them into using because if you use basic psychology, positive reinforcement, that is how you get your kid to learn. You don't want to use negative punishment techniques, psychological techniques on a child because it's going to have negative long-term effects. It's going to provide them with trauma. Instead, you're supposed to reward them when they do something good and not punish them to the point where they are crying and screaming when they do something bad. But even worse than negative punishment is controlling their actual neurons in their brain using drugs. So think about this. These kids don't focus in school because their brain needs a dopamine hit to be motivated in order to learn something. So the only way that they're going to be able to focus on something is if they're interested in it. Because if they are interested in something, they're automatically going to have that dopaminergic reaction in their brain, and that will provide them with the motivation that they need to focus. Instead of putting kids on meth as a child, and then later down the line, when they can't afford those medications when they're an adult, they just become addicts. And this needs to be looked into. Alright, bye.